Hello, everyone. I am so excited for this episode of Plug Into Devin. We have with us Chase Hansen, who is the 11-year-old founder of the Empathy Project. I am so excited to introduce him to you. He is an amazing young humanitarian. He's got a great father, John Hansen, too. But we're going to talk to Chase today, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. Chase, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Devin, for inviting me and having me on.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. Absolutely thrilled. What do you want to talk about today?
About my empathy project and kind of how I got started.
Great. Tell us about the Empathy Project. What is it?
So, Project Empathy is a one-on-one sit-down meal with someone who is suffering and or is lonely. And loneliness and people who are suffering are one of the epidemics in our world right now. And we're trying to solve them through friendship and one-on-one conversations lead to a better outcome for them. Me and my dad discovered project-based learning, which is a mood shift. When one person, let's say they were in poverty and on the street corner with a sign, if you pick them up and take them to lunch, it's an instant mood shift from the dirty sidewalk to a nice cafeteria where they're going to have a nice warm lunch. So we started trying to incorporate more people in our Project Empathy, and it has been led to where it is today.
Oh, that's great. So you and your dad for a long time have been reaching out and connecting with people in the homeless community, especially, and making friends and taking people to lunch. What have you learned from all of those meetings that you've had?
Well, I did about 100. I did a little under 130 myself, and learning from those, it was just interesting. The people opened up to me more than they opened up to most people. It was really fun to learn their stories and where they came from. It was always really interesting to hear them say, like, stick away from this thing and stick away from that, trying to avoid me going into heroin necessarily. And it was just interesting to hear their stories and where they came from.
That
And
is fascinating. So,
and
Chase, have you ever been in one of these meetings where it was kind of scary?
I've been in a couple like that, but my dad's always been kind of security guard, taking pictures and just watching. And now it might be for me, it might be scary at first, and for some other people because you're nervous, want to, you don't know like how to open up, and like you think like, oh, I'm scared, but it's kind of just like your cousin pushing you off the slide at Lake Powell. Um, you're scared, and then he pushes you, and then your arms are like on the back of your like that, and you're about to break them, so you just let go and you try it a couple more times, and you start to like it. You start to enjoy it. You start to want to do it more,
Yeah.
and that was kind of the case with me.
How do you feel like this helps the people you take to lunch?
I feel it kind of helps them open up and share their story because when I was working with the homeless population, I saw that they just wanted to share their story. I took a work trip down to Arizona, and there was a man that wanted to share his story, and newscasters came to St. Vincent de Paul, and he was just trying to get their attention so he could share their story. So about 30 minutes, so about when we finished with lunch, we came over. I was handing out trays, and we came over to him, and I just sat down with him for about 10 minutes and heard his story.
No,
So
that's amazing.
I think it's really good for them to share their stories and create new relationships in environments that usually you don't really create relationships in, like cafeterias at the mall.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's really powerful. Well, speaking of powerful, Chase, what is your superpower?
My dad always said my superpower was getting to the people in need and talking to them, learning from them. And um, I believed him, so we started doing one-on-one sit downs, and I've really seen that in me and my dad both.
Now, that's an amazing superpower. Well, Chase, how can people learn more about what you're doing? How can they connect with you and your dad, maybe on social media? Can you give me some pointers on how people can track you down and know more and join you and help you?
Yes, you can follow us on the one, the only Facebook at Project Empathy, and at Kid that and on Instagram you can follow us at Chief Dad Officer and Chief Kid Officer, and also and also on Facebook there's Chase Hansen. Trying to remember all the accounts. Oh wait, actually there's not a Chase Hansen. I can't. So yeah, you can follow us on there, and we are putting together a couple more projects once COVID blows off.
Excellent. Well, let's hope that ends soon. Well, Chase,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us today. We wish you every success in continuing to expand Project Empathy.
Thanks, Devin.
All righty. Let's be bold together.
I'm Devin Thorpe. For the last 8 years, I've been working full-time to eradicate extreme poverty, improve global health, and fight climate change. I've concluded that the best way for me to continue my work is to run for Congress to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District. In Utah, we have common shared values. Those things unite us. I believe passionately in our ability to come together, and I believe that working together, we can solve Utah's problems. I'm Devin Thorpe. I'm a Democrat. I'm running to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District.
I'm Devin Thorpe, a candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.